leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. The thing is, I think that you don't leave Future and get Russell Wilson. You want to get with Goofball.
Sounds to me like this guy wants him a future. I ain't saying that's what it is, but that's what it sounds like. So what's good, homies? This your man, Dr. BOA. You know, there's been a recent video floating around Channing Crowder, former linebacker in the NFL, who now does a show with, I actually did their show. They had Michael Beasley on. And Ryan Clark is the other guy that he does the show with, man. And it's a pretty good podcast, man. It has some great episodes. But he has a viral clip going around where he is saying that the only reason Ciara is with Russell Wilson because he has paper. And there's some truth to that. But you look at any celebrity, man. If he didn't have his wife from the bottom and he's on top, yes, money is a part of the reason. If he has a woman, if Channing Crowder has a woman, she's with him partly because of his success. Nothing's wrong with that. When Ciara was with Future, Future was already successful. Like, you're not going to get a woman who's already in the entertainment industry if you're not successful. Until she gets older and her options are limited. Let's go ahead and listen to Channing Crowder's video right quick, man.
Ciara. Yeah, Russell ain't had that bread. Ciara ain't going to be with him. Russell square. Russell square. Russell square. Ciara she has a good situation, but you don't leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. The thing is, I think that's what you don't leave Future and get with Russell Wilson. Like, it's a type. Listen, bro, everybody got a type.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody has a type. You gonna leave Future and get with Russell Wilson? He's so goddamn square, and I love him on the field. He's a square.
Channing.
He's a fucking square.
Channing, you go from this level of toxicity, you just want something stable. You want the guy that was sitting with that girl with that big old mouth at the draft that was laughing, and you knew she deserved to be with him.
Goofball?
Yeah, you want that guy.
You want to get with goofballs.
Now, the first thing I like to say about this entire video, man, is that, first of all, he seems a tad bit too interested in the type of man Ciara chooses. It almost seems as if this guy is saying, hey, I can't believe she did that. I would never choose Russell Wilson over Future. That sounds like what he's saying. No man should be this vested into why a woman did or didn't choose a man. This shouldn't even come out of a man's mouth. It shouldn't come out of a man's mouth. He is adamantly opposed to choosing a man like Russell Wilson over a man like Future. And then his reason is Russell Wilson is lame. Sounds to me like this guy wants him a future. I ain't saying that's what it is, but that's what it sounds like. This is why you have to guard your grill, man, and watch what you say, man, and watch out when you're trying to entertain and get a ha-ha out of everybody. You have to make sure that the joke isn't on you. But let's take a deeper dive on this, because the real issue isn't that Russell Wilson is with Ciara and her original type is the opposite of what he is. The real issue here is that women sing the praises of Russell Wilson. He's a great guy. He's an amazing man. And some of you dudes do it as well. He's an amazing guy. He's a great man. Look at him. He's taking care of, his children, that guy's children. He's a wonderful father, wonderful husband, all of these things. And so what happens is Russell Wilson finds himself trying to buy into that narrative. He keeps trying to prove that he's a better man than the Future, that he's a better man than any man Ciara's ever had. He's a better man than 50. He's a better man than Bow Wow. He's a better man than this man and that man. But that's not what a man's goal is, to prove to his woman that he's worthy of her. Question. How many of us say,
oh man, Russell Wilson got the best woman in the world. Boy, boy, boy. I'll tell you the truth, man. What an amazing, virtuous woman. I would love to have a wife who shakes and gyrates every time she happens to go anywhere publicly. I would love it, man.
None of us say that. You have to be a real true fan of Ciara to say that Russell Wilson hit the jackpot. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Because many of you men also thought you hit the jackpot because other people said you hit the jackpot.
That's a good girl, boy. You ought to keep her. Oh, I like that one, boy. Boy, you ought to marry that woman. Make an honest woman out of that girl.
They tell you all of these things, and then you get to the realization that you don't have the woman you thought you had at all. And so we're going to break down some things that you men must do when you meet these women to navigate through all of these physical beauty things and these qualifications that other people give you to gauge a woman. So you won't end up in a situation like Russell Wilson where you are around here trying to prove to the world that you are who they say you are for a woman who might not be who they think she is. Now, here's some things I want you men to understand. Understand when you're in a situation with a woman, no matter how much you think you love her, if you're in a situation that's not beneficial to you, then it's not that you love her, it's that you hate you. You have to understand that in most situations where you're in like I wouldn't be in the situation that Russell Wilson's in. I just wouldn't do it. There's no way. There's no set of circumstances you can place in a scenario that's going to make me say, okay, yeah, under those circumstances, I'd be Russell Wilson in that situation with Ciara. I just wouldn't be it, for all of the reasons that we've already covered before. But when you're in a situation like this, you have to make sure that what you're getting from that situation is based on what you've always wanted as a man, not based on what society dictates. You can't listen to the narrative of society and then start following that narrative because you like what? The same thing women like online, validation. I think most of what Russell Wilson does, man, is just to keep getting the validation of women who say, oh, Russell's the most amazing man ever. He's such an amazing man. Because let's be realistic. If you go back to his draft day, Russell Wilson, man, his girl wasn't that bad. You understand what I'm saying? And when I say bad, I mean she wasn't that good. I don't mean bad meaning bad. I mean bad meaning good. She was bad meaning bad. That girl was not attractive at all. You understand what I'm saying? And so for him, coming from where he's from, and he was the star quarterback of the Wisconsin Badgers. So if that's the best he could do, yes, Ciara's a come up for him. So in his mind, he couldn't get a woman like Ciara before he got money. So it's true that she's with him for the money, but in his mind, she's with him for the money because he doesn't believe he could have gotten her without the money. If so, he showed up with something bad, man, just to be honest with you. And my thing is this, you can say, well, it ain't about looks. Well, if it ain't about looks, then he would have stayed on the same path he was on with a woman who just looks decent. But that's not the case. The first opportunity he got the woman that he used to sit and watch on TV and be like,
oh man, I would love to have the things I wouldn't do if I had me a Ciara, boy. Not just a Ciara, the Ciara. The things I wouldn't do. Oh my God, what I wouldn't do.
His old lady probably walking in and see him in there.
You always watching Ciara. Well, she can dance. You know I like dancing, baby. Baby, I love dancing. That's all I'm doing, watching her dance, sweet pop, sugar pop, honey bun. I ain't doing nothing else, sweet baby.
But what he was doing the whole time, man, is waiting till he get his hands on her, boy. Who knows what that man went through, man, to get the attention of that woman? Because let's be realistic. You look at her past history, man, and she was not into guys like Russell Wilson. So I will agree with Channing Crowd on that. But when it comes to a woman being with you just for the money, she going to be with anybody for the money. Any old cat from the hood wasn't going to be with Ciara in the beginning. It was Future. We already knew who Future was, right? That's how it goes. Now, another thing you have to do, man, when you got a woman that's doing bad behavior, man, like what Ciara's doing is bad behavior. A married woman with children, a mother, always twerking, always dropping it low, always dance. It's one thing if you're at work. Okay, at work, that's her business. I understand that. That's how you make money. But she ain't even working no more, man. She just be doing that on IG for attention, for validation. She just be popping it, but dropping it like it's hot, man. Like, I mean, just for fun now. And he be sitting there cheering on. Ooh. Look at my baby. He be sitting there cheering on, man. And I'm telling you, you got to stop making excuses for your woman's bad behavior. You have to stop based on what you perceive her to be. See, professional life and personal life are two different things. Business and personal are two different things. Just like real life and social media life are two different things. So another thing I say is this, man. Ask yourself, why don't you think you deserve better than what you have? See, why don't you think you deserve better than to be in a battle with another man because you got his child in your house? Why don't you think you deserve better than to have a woman who's had so many men that you've seen her with publicly? My issue is not that a woman has a history, because you will never know a woman's history. The problem is you know Ciara's history. That's the real issue. You know it. If you know her history, it's like some of you guys, man, you went to high school with a girl, man. You all know everybody she's ever been with. Y'all still live in the same city. You still see some of those guys, and then you the one to marry her. Man, how much sense does it make for you to marry somebody, man, and then you got to like constantly be bumping into people, man? Say y'all out in public, man. Y'all see a cat, man, y'all went to school with who she used to get it in with. Come on, bro, that don't make sense. Yes, you can do it, and somebody may say, "Well, man, you lack confidence, man. I'm telling you, boy, you immature. You let me be all of that. I tell you what, I ain't. I ain't no man that finna run up on nobody, man, and be face to face with them, and I know for a fact they'd be my woman. I ain't finna do that. So y'all go ahead and do that. Let me be immature. If that's what maturity is, I'll stay immature. I will be childish until the day I die. If childish means that I'm going to stand on the principles and the standards of what I want. You understand? The problem is most of you men don't have any standards. Now, Russell Wilson must admit that giving Ciara that life that he's giving her is part of the reason that he's got her like that. He must admit that. Nobody can deny that. He can't deny that. She can't deny that. Who can deny that? That's why she ended up with Russell Wilson, who went to the University of Wisconsin, who is not a street guy. That's why he ended up at a party that Drake was hosting with a bunch of hood rappers there. Why? Because that's where Ciara wanted to go. It wasn't that Russell went there and then ran like a chump. It was the fact that Russell Wilson shouldn't have been there in the first place. So if you say, man, Russell, man, he did right. He ain't got no business fighting. He ain't got no business going there. Once you there, then you got to stand on principle. You're going to look stupid. If you go, you got to know the consequences, repercussions that might take place of going. You got to know you're going to run into this guy. You got to know this guy's going to be there. So instead of going there, turning around, fleeing, like what the hell you went for in the first place? Why? Because you want to do what people say you ought to do when you are trying to impress a woman who undoubtedly is enjoying the validation and everything that she is getting from being with a man like you. Am I saying Russell Wilson is not a good guy? No, I'm saying Russell Wilson is a good guy. But what I'm saying, if you're a good guy, shouldn't you have a woman who has a history of being a good girl? Not a woman that's been running around with a bunch of bad boys all this time? If the woman want to run around with bad boys, let her keep running around with bad boys. Let her marry a bad boy. If she like thugs, let her marry a thug. Let a thug provide for her. You don't let a woman go do all the things she gonna do and then come back to you when it's time to settle down and then have the nice guy. Russell Wilson is the prototypical example of what we say. She goes and does all the things she wants to do and has all the fun she wants to have and go have a baby or two and then come to you and now she wants a nice guy.
You shouldn't do that, man.
Because see, if you're paying the cost to be the boss, why are you letting the woman be the boss? Man, that's the problem. That's why I don't have a woman. That's why I'm not in a relationship. That's why I ain't finna get married. That's why I ain't got none of that, man. You understand? Now, do I have women in my life? Yeah. But do I have a woman that's my woman, my wifey? No, I don't have that. You know why? Because I pay the cost to be the boss and I'm going to be the boss. And most women you meet today are not going to have that. Look at Russell Wilson pay the cost to be the boss, but he ain't the boss. See what I'm saying? A bunch of these guys, Denzel Washington, pay the cost to be the boss, but he ain't the boss. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her